All right, hello, good morning. So I'm making this video as a response to a subscriber, somebody who commented to one of my recent videos. And this is not in any way meant as disrespect. I appreciate your words. Was it Paul? Is that what your name was? The gentleman who lived in Vietnam, and you talked about consequences, and you eventually returned back to America. So yeah, you made some interesting points, and I disagree, and I want to explain why I disagree. And I wanted to give a quick justification about how I believe you should live your life. So let's just start with this. If you're living your life in fear of dying, in fear of that you might die, then you're not living your life. If you're living your life afraid of consequences, afraid of the choices that you made coming back to haunt you, well, then you're not living in life. You're living in the past. Live with no regrets. Take chances. Risk everything. This world, this universe, if it's from a metaphysical standpoint, if there's some kind of religious being, if it's karma, if it's fate, whatever it is, it rewards those who suffer for greatness. Now, of course, greatness is a subjective term. What I find being great will be different from yours. You might find being great is coming to Vietnam and just experiencing it a couple years and then moving to trying a different country. Or maybe getting married, having a family, or your idea of greatness could be just having a lot of money in your bank account. Who knows? We all have a different idea of what greatness. Mine is undefinable. There's not a word in the dictionary that defines what I seek, what my life purpose, what my drive, this inner being inside me tells me that I was meant to do. And if it is the end of me, there is no shame in that. There is no reason to tuck my tail between my legs and run home back to America, which, speaking of America, let's talk about. So let's talk about the two different countries that I could give a healthy opinion on now that I've lived in Vietnam for 3 years and America for most of my life. So you have one country, America, in decay, cultural decay. You have a culture of hedonism, a culture of gluttony, a culture of people too stupid, and too complacent, and too fat and lazy to see what's happening to them. I mean, literally. I hate to be hard on my own country. I love America. I served in the military, for God's sake. I love my country. But I'm disappointed in it. Vietnam, on the other hand, North Vietnam. Now, maybe your experience of Vietnam, being somewhere else, you had a different experience. I respect that. Maybe it's different the more south you go, or maybe, who knows, maybe just back in the 80s, 90s, whenever you came here, it was different. But where I'm at, all I see are people, honorable people, loving people, hardworking people, people who love their country, love their families, and are just trying to live good lives. And what is a good life? A good life means to provide. A good life means to give opportunities for their children, right? A good life means to better themselves, to never get to a point where you feel, and this is for the ones who don't have children, the ones who, and even if you do have children, there's never an excuse for you to stop bettering yourself. I see a people who eat healthy. I see a country that is not infected with McDonald's in every corner. I see a country that's not infected with processed foods. Walmarts, like little cockroaches scattered on every street corner. I see people who live in balance with their life. It's all about balance. A lot of Asian philosophy is about balance. Just think about it. Take yin and yang for example. What does that represent? Or the two koi fish. Balance, harmony, respecting of your elders, respecting of your family, duty to family, duty to yourself, your responsibilities and all that stuff. You don't give up just because, in my opinion, if you, of a health scare, a fear, if you were happy, if you pass away while outliving your dream, then that is the best way to go. Even if it is in the worst case scenario, which I mentioned in a previous video, the 4 different ways of dying: in the arms of somebody you love, in the arms of the woman that I love, and at the side of my family, at the side of my best friend Ben. Those are good ways. Now, by myself, alone, that's still, that's the way that I don't want to go. But I would gladly, and look me in the eyes, all right? Let me get my little emo hair out of the way, all right? Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes. Do you see me? Do you see me? All right? I would rather suffer 1,000 times over, 1,000,000 times over, alone in this apartment, this cold, white, sterile, stone, concrete apartment. Didn't ever take one step backwards. Didn't ever retreat. To ever admit to myself that I'm not strong enough to do this. No. I plant my flag here. I plant my flag here. Read that right there. What's that say? This one right here. Sorry, this one's the Batman quote. What does it say? It's a pros and cons. The pros and cons list. Of course, you can't read it all, and you don't know the context of it, but let me share a few things about it. Fair? Let me get a sip here. So what does it say? It says, pros, more happy. Winters in Laokai, because I love Laokai. It means a heart, which I'm going to keep vague. It means I love the land. I love this place that I'm at. It means opportunity. It means keeping my dream alive, moving forward. Cons. What does it say? Well, for one, it shows a skull, so I'll let you kind of, I'll let you guess what that infers. Letting down people, myself first, my family, my friends, the viewers, everybody who saw me on this journey, myself who spent 10 years working on this, my family who helped me, believed in me, like my grandmother, my grandfather who passed away before he was able to see me achieve this dream, and a few other stuff. So, consequences. They're good. There could be no greatness without first a great suffering. I live my life knowing that. You cannot be great. I cannot be great. We will never achieve greatness without first putting forth the blood and the pain and the suffering required for it. Because anything in life that's worth a damn is going to cost you. Are you willing to pay the price? I am. And if I was to die trying to pay that price, well then I would die knowing that I had heart, that I fought to the end, like Rocky. I went to the 9th round, kept on swinging. Never give up on your dreams. Never compromise on your dreams. Be willing to die for your dreams if you have to. Don't step back. Don't live in the past. And your mistakes don't define you, they make you who you are. And I've lived and made so many mistakes, and all those have made me who I am today. I've learned from them, and I needed to make those mistakes. I needed to go through a lot of these things to better understand my place in life, in this world, my future. For if there's one currency, if there's one thing, the most important thing that you should be seeking, audience member, whoever's watching this, it's not your car, it's not the motorcycles I always talk about in race, it's not your bank accounts, it's not how good looking you are, it's knowledge. Knowledge, my God, it's knowledge. That is the true currency of life. Knowledge about yourself, knowledge about life, experience. And why do you think I respect elder people so much? Because as I've become older, I've started to realize that life experience is worth more than a 1,000 degrees. It's worth more than 1,000 pretentious, latte drinking, save the planet kind of types who have, no, life experience will teach you things that nothing else will. Enduring pain and suffering through life and pushing past that will teach you lessons of life that nothing else can. You have to do that, and if you live your life safe and in a bubble, you deprive yourself that chance of self-growth. So that is my response to you. To that comment. He said that his mistakes of the past caught up to him. He chose to return back to America. Well, I believe you did it wrong, but I respect your opinion, and that's all what it's about, right? It's about respect. If you thought that going back home was your right move, well, I hope it worked out for you, and I do hope for prosperity and wealth for you. And also, I suspect the words that you say, you was. Never mind. I'm very. I always like put little fishnets in my videos just to see things. I'm very aware of who's watching. We'll just say that, and who's commenting. But if you chose to go back home, I respect that. I disagree, but I respect it. But me, I will live. I will fight. And if I need to, I will die here. And I'll do it with a smile on my face. And they will say, Indy, Atticus. That man, he had conviction. They could put that on my tombstone. And a fast motorcycle. Things are going to be okay. All right. Thanks for paying attention. Or thanks for enduring what I had to say. Thanks for sitting around. And I hope you have a good day. And no disrespect meant to the commenter, but I think his name was Paul on the last video. This was meant as no disrespect. It was just something I'm passionate about. All right. Goodbye, guys.